Hello and welcome to this learning video aid on parenting. My name is Jane George and I am a professional counselor. In the next few minutes, my desire is that you will learn some key ways of how you can interact with your child that will not only bring lasting benefits in the lives of your child, but also enhance and strengthen the relationship between you and your child. So let me bring forth a situation that you may have come across sometime in your own parenting or even have observed in the lives of other families. You would have experienced this situation or even observed this when your child is upset. In his frustration and overwhelm, he throws himself on the floor and screams. This is often what we call as a temper tantrum. I have seen parents taking the following three routes. So the first route is they would give the child what he wants because you don't want to hear him cry and you want to stop the embarrassment he's creating around you. The second way that parents generally respond is you may get upset, you yell at him to calm down, or even resort to a slight pinch or a beating. Or the third one is you let him take his fit without any fuss. Once he's calm, then you give him the same answer that he got all upset in the first place. So which route would you take? Now, whether you're aware or not, every parent has a way or a particular style of interacting with their children. The way you interact with your child can greatly influence the kind of person your child will become. What type of parenting style do you use? Now, I'm going to put two scenarios before you. Quickly take a pen and a paper, or even just make a mental note of your answer and what it would be. So answer the questions honestly. And this needs to be based on your belief and what you would really do or say, and not how you think it should be answered. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. So answer it very honestly, based on your belief of how you would really say or do or respond to your child, and not how you think it should be answered. So are you ready? So for each question, I'm going to mention three options. So make a note of how you would respond. The options will be A or B or C. So just make a mental note or write down in a paper what these options would be. So the first one, who decides how children should behave, which interests they pursue, and the goals they set? So who decides how children should behave, which interests they pursue, and what goals they set? So A, children should be allowed to do whatever interests or goals they want so that they will be ultimately happy. B, parents should tell children what to do and the goals to pursue and make them follow through with it. Or C, parents can teach children positive behavior skills so children can set and reach healthy goals in open discussion with their parents. Okay, so you can choose A, B, or C. I hope you've done that. Now let's go on to the second one. How can parents motivate children? How can parents motivate children? So A, option A, if parents do enough for their children, the children will be happy and motivated. B, children can be motivated only through commands and instructions given by parents. Or C, parents can teach their children the value of tasks so that they are self-motivated to do them even if they fail sometimes. So I hope you've marked your option for the second one also. Now, this is only a sample of the many questions that can be given to you to understand your style of interacting with your child. If you have answered C, that is the last option in all the cases, it's very likely you use a parenting style that is called authoritative parenting. In simpler terms, it is a democratic style of parenting, or what we call a balanced style of parenting. We would have all heard the word democracy. Democratic is a common term that we use to mean that all parties involved have the freedom to deliberate. Now, as this name suggests, this style of parenting involves treating children with respect and dignity, as well as establishing certain needed boundaries. Now, this style is researched as an effective and a beneficial parenting style for children. Now, this style is one among 4 main parenting styles used in child psychology today. The others are, just for your benefit and maybe for your further reading, it's called authoritarian, permissive, or neglectful. And the 4th one being what we are discussing today is authoritative. Now, this is based on the work of a psychologist, a developmental psychologist by name Diana Baumrind, and some of her colleagues who were in Stanford, as known as Maccabee and Martin. Now, the basic premise of this style is that the children need to be empowered to discern between what is appropriate and what is not through role modeling and fair limits. So the interaction between the parent and the child is highly enforced by positive and open communication. There is that perfect balance between parents being too strict and too lenient. Authoritative parents enjoy the children who are well-rounded, they are well-respected, they're valued, and possess good behavior. So what does this parenting style look like? What are some of the main features of this kind of parenting? So I'll list out a couple of it for a greater understanding. So the first one is that parents who use authoritative style of parenting anchor a very warm relationship with the child. Parents are affectionate, they're understanding, and nurture their child with care. They listen to their children when they're upset or disappointed, or whenever they're feeling any big kind of an emotion. Authoritative parents discuss rules or establish boundaries alongside with their children and explain the importance of having these rules. The focus is actually making the child understand the rules instead of punishing them when they break the rules. And this is also followed up with an enforcing of these standards of behavior. The third point that we can look at is this democratic parenting style encourages the child to make choices in their daily life. Now, these choices are always followed up by consequences. Children thus associate consequences with their behavior. For example, let's say a parent establishes certain household chores that they need to get done, but gives the child the choice for what tasks they want to be responsible for. And they ensure to follow up with the child to ensure that the task gets done. In case the task doesn't get done, there are consequences that's already discussed about prior to the issue. The next point that we can look at is democratic parents reward the child's positive behavior. They focus more on things that the child has done well. They appreciate when they follow the rules, when they make a good choice. However, there is a discipline for breaking the rules, but it is not harsh or harmful, but always centered around consequences that has been discussed prior. And it all surrounds around communication. Parents are responsive to the child's needs and motivates them to achieve their goals. So they look into finding what is the gifting of the child, what are the talents of the child, and help them to pursue things that make them well-rounded and increase their potentiality. Authoritative parents are easy to recognize because they are marked by the high expectations that they have for their children. But they also temper or negotiate these expectations with understanding that the children need support as well. So there is a balance in the kind of expectations and the flexibility of it. Authoritative parenting involves the children to be part of the decision making and gives them enough freedom to make choices. This parenting style develops independence in children and improves their confidence and self-esteem so that as they grow out and move out into the world, they are able to make choices that are healthy, or they're able to make choices that are well thought of because they've been given the freedom to make mistakes earlier and help to discuss that with the parents. Parents using this style, first and foremost, prioritize their connection and relationship with the child more than micromanaging the behavior. So how do these children of this style of this style of nurture come out to be? What is the outcome of these children? Now, it's seen that children raised by authoritative parents are more likely to become independent, they're self-reliant, they're accepted socially, they're academically successful, they're well-behaved. This kind of a style brings about an individual that's balanced, someone who has a good value of themselves, a good self-esteem, have good coping skills when problems come up, and they know how to handle conflicts with others. They're also less likely to report depression or anxiety, and they're less likely to engage in any kind of behavior, antisocial behavior like delinquency and drug use, because they have good coping mechanisms. So in a practical sense, what does this look like? So the first one is the expression of love towards the children. The parents' expression of love towards the children are always there, whether the children meet their expectations or not. Parents establish clear boundaries with the child and give logic and reason for these. And they're also willing to negotiate the boundaries as they grow older, as they grow more responsible. Parents are willing to let go of certain boundaries. Parents keep the communication open. They articulate the rules, the choices, and consequences with great clarity. These parents involve children in decision-making, and they give them enough freedom to make those choices. These parents give children autonomy, that is, their ability to choose based on their age and development. And they draw a line between discipline and free will, and and that's what makes a lot of their democratic parenting effective. I truly hope and trust this has at least piqued your interest to understand more about this style of parenting, because it builds your relationship with your child as well as helps your child grow in a world independent and strong. Your children are going to leave your nest one day, but they need to be well equipped to decide and to work through life and life situations. So as you invest in their life and take time to negotiate, take time to communicate, to express, to help them make mistakes, they grow up into well-rounded individuals. I truly hope that this video has helped you to understand some of these principles. May God bless you and guide you to work through your relationship with your children for His glory. Thank you so much.